Hey everyone, just a quick word before we get started on this beer review. If you're interested in purchasing any of these beers that you see on my channel, stick around to the end of the video and I will tell you where you can purchase them at online. Now, isn't that lovely? Have beer shipped right to your home and don't have to go anywhere. All right, enjoy the video. Cheers to that. Welcome, my friends. Thanks so much for taking the time to stop by once again as we sample some more great tasting American craft beers with Dr. Dave. Interesting, huh? No doubt about it. Now for our sampling pleasures and tasting delights today. Ooh, I bet this is going to be a good one. I've had a few beers from this brewery and they haven't disappointed me so far. From the Zero Gravity Brewing Company located in Burlington, Vermont. This is the Green State Lager. It's brewed with noble hops and it checks in at 4.5% alcohol by volume. The date stamp on the bottom says, hey, we better drink this pretty soon. It's about 3 months past date, but it's okay. 3 months past date is not a big deal for a Pilsner, for a lager. It's not a big deal. Let me get my bowl down here so we can open this without any accidents. That's right, accidents. Want to know where that came from, don't you? Ah, see, we had a little bit of an accident. Accident is the same as edumacation and application. It's people who just are so caught up in their own little world that they don't know everyday words. So yeah. All right, let's go ahead and put this over here. We blotted it off, and let's go ahead and use this glass right here. This will do quite nicely. Now, generally, when that happens, it means it's an old beer. Doesn't mean it's going to be bad or it's undrinkable. It just means it's old. Like I said, this is a few months past its prime. It's lightly carbonated, slightly hazy. It's got a nice bright white bit of foam on it. That carbonation is really flowing up from the bottom. See what kind of aroma we can pick up from Zero Gravity Brewery. Oh my goodness. It's a nice malt in there, and it smells like a little bit of hmm, almost lemony. I don't know. I don't know, but you know what? We're going to think good thoughts for this beer. And we're going to thank the brewers there in Burlington, Vermont for all the hard work they put into brewing this batch of beer and sending it to me here in Northeast Ohio. Many thanks. And cheers to you at home as well. Well, I'll tell you what, this beer has a lot more malt than it does hops. And it's got a bit of a sweet flavor to it. Yeah, I was getting a little bit of lemon in there. I'm not getting it now. That's what it smelled like on the first sniff, but I'm not getting it now. There's nothing wrong with this beer. Just because it's a few months out of date, there's nothing wrong with it. It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to kill you. Um, I think that because it is a few months out of date, though, I think the hops that were in there are past its prime, and this is more malt than anything else. But it's still not a bad beer at all. It's very drinkable, and that's what happens to beer when it sits around too long, when it's past date, especially an IPA. It's going to turn to all malt. The hops are going to just kind of dissipate, and they're not going to be there. And it's still a decent beer. If you've ever had any beer from Asia, I don't care what country it is from Asia, it's really a malty beer. There's almost no hops at all. And if there are any, you're not going to taste them. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's kind of what happened to this beer right here. The malts have, I'm sorry, the hops have kind of gone away and it's all malt, but it's very drinkable. It's still doable. There's nothing wrong with the beer. And look at the lacing. Yeah, this is a well-crafted beer. Nothing wrong with this beer. So if you look at a beer sometime, you say, "Oh my gosh, that's 3 months past date. I can't drink that. I'll get sick." That's not, nah, you're not gonna get sick. I tell you what, I can't get it all into the glass because man, that is well carbonated. That is extremely well carbonated. I would describe this as a hazy beer, number one, and it is light bodied. It is a light mouthfeel with medium carbonation, and this would go well with a variety of foods. And absolutely, like I said, when you get a beer that's maybe a couple months past date, don't be afraid to drink it because there's nothing wrong with it. Now, if you got a beer that's 3 years old, it's past date, I would think twice about that, unless it's bourbon barrel aged or rum barrel aged, something of that nature. Yeah, you know what? Just if it's not barrel aged beer, then yeah, just be on the safe side, throw it out. But something that's a couple months past prime is not going to hurt you. Nah. And look at that beer, man. That is lovely looking, isn't it? Ah, I would like to get one of these beers on the fresh side and just tell you if there's any difference. Now, this beer was sent to me, so I don't know. Maybe I get that person to send me another beer. But I tell you what, the way it is right now, there's nothing wrong with it. Just a little bit more malt and hop, and there's nothing wrong with it. Mm. So, with that said, my friends, if you want a good lager, from Vermont, then this might be the one for you. If you've had this beer and you've had it fresh or maybe at the brew pub, let me know in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. All right. Hey, it can't be a bad beer. Look at the lacing. Yeah, an old beer, a beer that's washed up and past its prime is not going to leave that kind of lacing on glassware. It's not. All right, my friends, life is short. Let's be happy. And until we meet next time. Here's wishing all of you the very best of goodbyes. And as always, cheers. Okay, everyone. As promised, Dr. Dave's going to tell you where he buys his beers and where you can buy them also. First on the list is rivalrybrews.com. Now, don't worry, I'm going to put the links in the description box for you. Rivalry Brews is a relatively new mail order place. It's based right here in Ohio, in Medina, and they are fantastic. I tell you what, when they first started, I got free shipping on all the beers. Now I think they charge me $2. $2 for 12 beers. That's fantastic. Now, as far as I know, they ship to the lower 48, but you might want to check the website on that. I can't be 100% sure, but the shipping is fast. The turnaround is fast, and if anything's wrong, they will fix it right away. I only had one issue with them, and they refunded half my purchase order, which I thought was more than fair. More than fair. So anyway, by the way, disclaimer, I don't get any money on any of this. I'm not affiliated with any of these beer companies. They don't know I'm doing this. I'm just telling you where to buy the beer. Now, one day I may be affiliated, and if I am at that point, I'll certainly let you know. So, Rivalry Brews, located right here in Ohio, they specialize in Ohio beers, beers from Pennsylvania and Indiana. So, if you want some good Ohio craft beer, that's a good place to start. The second one on my list, oh, I love this place. It's called Halftime Beer. Halftime Beer has two locations in New York State, Poughkeepsie, and I believe it's pronounced Mamaroneck. Mamaroneck. Yeah, don't quote me on that pronunciation. I tried my best. Yeah, anyway, they have more beer online than you could possibly look at in a day. I'm telling you, they have beer everywhere on that website. And all you have to do is go on there, make your selection, and have it shipped. Now, they do have gift boxes, which come with a really nice cooler. Yeah, and you can't beat it. It's $5 shipping on those special orders. Now, on the other beers, the shipping can get a little bit pricey, but I've never had an order for more than $20 shipping, which I think is really good for 12 bottles of beer. Now, if you get cans, it's less cost because it weighs less. and that's what costs the money is the weight and the size of the box. So, yeah, check them out. Now, I belong to two of their what's known as Beer of the Month Club. I'm in their German Beer of the Month Club, so I get 12 bottles from six different breweries, two of each, once a month. And there's a lot of beers in there that I've never heard of from Germany. I thought I had them all, not even close. And then I have the Around the World Beer Club, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's beers from all over the world. So far, I only got one beer that I didn't really like. It happens. It happens. And, you take your chances on that. But I got some beer from South Korea, of all places, South Korea. I thought it was really, really good. Now, last on the list, but not least, and I didn't put these in any particular order, it's the Best Damn Beer Shop. Now, they're out of San Diego, and they have a killer selection. I'm telling you. Matter of fact, talking about all this beer, I'm going to have one here. Mm, that's just a regular run of the mill Pilsner, German style, but it hits the spot on a day like this. Anyway, Best Damn Beer Shop. Woo! Now, their shipping, they require you to choose in lots of six. So you can get 6, 12, 18, 24 is the maximum. And their shipping is reasonable considering I'm on the East Coast and they're on the West Coast. Yeah, the shipping is generally about $19 for a 12 bottle selection, which I don't think is a lot. $19? No, I don't think that's a lot. Now, the more beer you buy, the less money it's going to cost. That's just a fact of economics. So if you want to buy six beers, it's going to cost more to ship it than the 12. Hey, I don't make the rules, man. Just buy more beer. You save more money on shipping. What can I tell you? Yeah, but they're a great place, and so all three of those places, Rivalry Brews for Ohio beers, and then you have the Halftime Beverage, which is in New York. They have a selection on everything, and same thing with Best Damn Beer Shop. Now, if you want some West Coast beers that you can't find in your town, that's the place to buy them at. Last but not least, people always ask me, what is that on your beer glass? Well, I bought it at Amazon, Amazon.com. It's called a vacuum vin. Vacuum vin. And if I'm not mistaken, it's from Sweden, if I'm not mistaken. And the inside of it is lined with special material. So what you do is you put this in the freezer, you let it sit overnight, and then you put your beverage in here, and it will maintain that beverage at around 38 degrees, which is really cold for a beer. But I like my pilsners cold. Now, if you already have a beer that warmed up, put it in here and it'll bring it to the proper temperature, no doubt. And I said last, but I was mistaken. This is the last thing I want to talk about. Dr. Dave's beer glasses. Now, I did sell these a number of years ago when I had my other beer channel. And this is a new design, though. This is a different design. Now, I could sell these if there's enough interest in them, but I have to order them about 144 at a time. So I don't want to order them unless there's some real interest in them. Now, it's difficult to see on here, but it says Dr. Dave's cheap ass beer reviews. Yeah, it's not really going to come out that well there on the camera. But I would sell these at cost. Now I'm not trying to make any money on them. I think it cost me 14.98 to have those made. So I would sell them at the same price. Now I don't know, the price could have gone up because I did buy those a few years back. So, but I would sell them at cost if anybody's interested. But like I said, I don't get any money off these links. There's no affiliate links here. I'm not making any money. I just wanted to let everybody know where I buy my beer so you could buy it too. Oh, and I almost forgot the Amazing Clubs Beer of the Month Club. Amazing Clubs. I'll put all the links in the description box. Knock yourself out. Hey, thanks for watching, okay? And Dr. Dave says cheers to that.